Welcome to The Pandemic Changes Everything, the Need for Speed and Resiliency session. My name is Parviz Peiravi. I'm Global CTO for Financial Services Solutions at Intel. Our team working with 60 plus largest financial institutions worldwide. And what am I talking about today? It's a learning from engagement with our customers and our ecosystem partners. The pandemic really changes everything. Since 8 months ago, there are new trends in enterprises worldwide. According to IDC, by 2021, over 90% of worldwide enterprises rely on mix of on-premise, dedicated private cloud, several public clouds, and legacy platform to meet their infrastructure needs. According to another prediction, by 2023, an emerging cloud ecosystem for extending resource control and real-time analytic will be the underlying platform for all IT and business automation, and anywhere and everywhere. Resilient business and operating models are also critical. In the past, we have had planned for the resilience business, mostly focused on national disaster, short period of time. Now what we are seeing, based on the pandemic we have seen, this type of challenges and natural disaster might last a long time. And that has a significant impact on how the business operates under those conditions. So what we are talking about today is how financial institutions can deliver services according to what consumers are requiring. So what are the key parts to provide best customer experience during pandemic and after that is ability to deliver real time, all the time, seamless, personalized, predictive, and for everyone services. To deliver this type of capability, you do need to have a capable infrastructure. This is where shift to digital is really important. It's not just having API that you can provide access to backend system. It is a reality of that we need to change enterprises entirely shifting to a digital infrastructure that we can deliver all the capabilities I mentioned. As I mentioned before, cloud, data, artificial intelligence are core pillar of delivering this type of capability today and moving forward. Of course, technology changes as we go forward, but the pillars that I mentioned is going to be the foundation for all IT enterprises moving forward. Now, to build that capabilities is not going to happen overnight. So building that is starting from where you are today, and it really depends on maturity of the enterprise infrastructure that we are talking about. But by understanding where you are today, you can plan how to move forward. We all have monolithic application infrastructure. We have been using IaaS, PaaS services in the past. We have been familiar with container orchestration, microservices that are upcoming, and cloud-native application environment, and we are moving to that direction. Some companies already taking advantage of cloud-native architectures and application and microservices. Other is moving to build that infrastructures to support those environments. In addition to that, as we are moving away from just pure monolithic application infrastructure to a microservice and cloud-native environment, you do need to have different type of monitoring analytics that embedded to your application and infrastructure operation application as well. The way you store data, the way you move data and analyze data and deliver that is really critical to be understood. Cloud native and microservices has a different data pattern that we had in monolithic environment. And lastly, but not least, it's really important to focus on embedded security, not just add-on security that we had in the past, which worked well with monolithic application environment. We talked about modernization of the infrastructure. What we have here is really talking about modernizing your data and analytic AI infrastructure along with your infrastructure as a service, along with your application as a service, and developing data analytic that support both environments. In the past, we used data warehousing solutions. What we are seeing as a trend worldwide, most financial institutions looking to take advantage of their existing investment in data warehousing, but augmenting that with data lake or data hub or hybrid model to provide that capabilities that we mentioned before, a real time, all the time for every devices. And to do that, a scalable data hub architecture or data lake data hub architecture is suitable on solutions that should be considered by most financial institutions to provide real-time and streaming capabilities as we move forward based on hybrid multi-cloud infrastructure. And there is an important factor in this, which I will emphasize on that later. The hybrid capability is really a stage that we need to pay more attention to that. As I said, I will cover that topic later. So to delivering all these capabilities, you do also need to have a hardware capability that support the application functionality, data movement, and data processing, and make that available to different type of application, whether we're talking about cloud native application or AI and analytics. Intel have been investing on new memory technology 10 years ago that provide a significant improvement in terms of data storage of lower latency and higher capacity for in-memory application. What we are seeing in terms of new trend in the market as well is in-memory applications, whether we're talking about just data grids or analytics that provide different type of functionalities increasing significantly. So having the technology such as Optane DC technologies, which is Intel brand for persistent memory technologies as well, it's really providing that fundamental technologies. Optane technology use RDMA, remote direct memory access, which bypassed the operating system kernel. It's zero copying as well as no CPU involvement, so CPU is available for other operations. The memory technology also provides you persistent memory, which I will talk about it in the next slide. But in general, what we are delivering in here to fill in the gap between the DRAM, between the traditional SSDs and HDDs. And this new generation of memory support majority of in-memory application exists today and going in the future. Persistent memory operations that I talked about basically has two modes. One is direct memory mode, which is basically a higher capacity and extension of DRAM. There is no modification to application required. However, for app direct mode, as is shown in this slide, you do need to have application aware of the new generation of the memory for persistency. This specific feature is really important for in-memory application because allow data to be persist in the memory even at the event of whether planned or unplanned shutdown of a system, so you can recover very fast. And this goes back to some of the capabilities I mentioned before in early on for real time, all the time, every devices, etc. To have those applications available at any time, that you need this type of technology that allow you for fast recovery. And we have been working on this technology with our partners. As I mentioned in the beginning, a lot of our learning is not just working with customers, but also with our ecosystem partner to understand what we need to deliver to the market to address the challenges that our customer facing and address the needs of majority of customers that are looking for developing new generation of infrastructure. We work with Alluxio on developing, basically enabling their software solution to take advantage of Optane in-memory in-memory persistent technologies and enable different type of a stack. In this slide, we're talking about Hadoop stack, which is HDFS, enable different type of analytics. Hadoop has been basically established since 2010. Majority of financial institutions are using this technology today. And with the cooperation between Intel and Alluxio, we are bringing significant advantage in terms of capacity and performance to the market that support a different type of data framework, from Presto to Spark to Flink, MapReduce, Hive, HBase, and Caffe, and TensorFlow, which is ranged from traditional machine learning to artificial intelligence and deep learning. The performance gain that you're getting from using the new technology, just this is an example of that, is that you get about 2 plus performance speed up on traditional HDFS using traditional local storage. In terms of comparison to how much gain we are getting in comparison to DRAM, on the right-hand side, we are seeing that is 1.9, almost 2x speed up over the DRAM cache for 4 terabyte paraquet format data. And these are type of workload that we are talking about is going to increase as we go forward based on the trend we have seen in the market, in financial institutions, and frankly, across enterprises. I mentioned in the beginning before when I was talking about modernization of IT infrastructure is hybrid is really key. Majority of our customers, they do have on-prem investment and existing data center, which they will continue to use going forward, according to many research industries as well as customers that have spoke to us about that. So ability to provide a hybrid capabilities, it's an important factor, and I highly recommend financial institutions that build and that they are working to plan and build future generation of IT infrastructure, focus on solutions that provide hybrid capability, hybrid by design, as Alluxio offer one in this solution. So they do support both on-prem and in cloud. This is an important functionality, even though if you don't use today, but in the future as we go forward, especially based on business resiliency I talked about, the hybrid feature become a key aspect of any modern IT infrastructure. So support for authentication, authorization, encryption, and login, which means you are protecting your data via TLS and in transit and at rest combination, and ability to solve a problem of data locality, data accessibility, and data on demand, which is the future generation of application, and some of the cloud native application today based on microservices really demands. So I believe the combination of Intel Optane persistent memory technology and Alluxio, the storage solution, really provide you a foundation to deliver the capabilities we spoke about in the beginning and enable you to compete in a market with faster solution to market and data and application services in a real time, in every time and every place. Thank you.